Hello, my dear viewers. Today is March 24th, a summary of the events on the Ukrainian war fronts. In the Avdiivka sector, for example, our troops, after capturing the town of Orlovka, started advancing. The offensive is not just happening here in this part of the front, but in other areas, and primarily after a short break, our troops resumed the offensive in the Chasov Yar region. Yesterday, enemy defense literally started collapsing here quite considerably. There was an official announcement from the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation that our troops had taken control over the village of Ivanovskaya, or Krasnaya, as we call it. But this is only part of the news. In reality, this was the result of our troops managing to breach the enemy's defenses slightly further north by scaling this hill, which they besieged for many days between Bakhdanivka and Ivanovskoye. There is information that our troops have already reached the outskirts. The Canal or New Canal micro-district, and the fact that our troops have managed to occupy several key positions on the hill confirms, among other things, the enemy. Yesterday, in their evening messages, Ukrainian publics reported that our troops managed to push through and significantly push through the defense of the Ukrainian armed forces here. A new attack was conducted at night. According to preliminary data, our troops managed to push through the enemy's defense almost to the very Chasov Yar, but it is known for sure that the enemy is currently relying only on residential buildings in this area. Our troops, if they go in residential construction, it will be an excellent stronghold in order to further continue the assault. Chasov Yar. We keep our fingers crossed for our guys. The enemy's defense is clearly cracking here, and I really hope for good news from this area that they will continue here. Also, no less good news is now coming from the Avdiivka sector. Yesterday, our troops also, according to the officials, in fact, this was achieved a bit earlier, but officially the Russian Federation Ministry of Defense confirmed the liberation of Toynikovo was confirmed the day before yesterday. Our troops continued offensive operations, advancing well to the southwest of Toynikovo. We've made solid headway between Orlovka and Berdichi, and the battle for Berdichi is ongoing. Interesting tidbits from Ukrainian evening news outlets, the ones that are run, I repeat, by Ukrainian sources. According to their data, our troops are attempting to cross the river. Securing a position south of Semyonovka as of last night was an intense affair. There was fierce fighting in the Semyonovka area. Therefore, our cabs were working in the populated area, pushing the enemy out of these borders. As of now, there are no updates on whether we have managed to secure a position on the western bank of the river. However, allow me to reiterate, our men were there last night, and it's also highly likely that the enemy's defenses have weakened after that. As the best reserves who had been counterattacking for a couple of weeks were pulled out of here, they left, so after that, the enemy's defenses in this sector have also begun to collapse. The enemy also acknowledges our tactical successes in the region of Horhivka, in the region of Pobeda, in the region of Novomikhailivka. Offensive battles have also resumed here. We are waiting for news from this region. And our guys also launched an attack in the region south of Krasnohorivka yesterday. Battles are underway on the edges here, reminding you of the residential area. Our troops also carried out assault operations in the area of Staromaiske. There are also tactical advances there, which were also confirmed in his report by the local offensive operations are underway in the region of Bilohorivka and the forest area a little to the north. This is the Seversk area. These are the main events currently taking place at the front. We are closely monitoring 2 points, Avdiivka and the western part of Avdiivka. The main events are happening here for now, and I just have to comment on tonight's events. Our aerospace forces delivered another powerful focus strike with such a concentration of rockets that a missile strike on such a small area, I can't remember this happening even in my recollection. Since the inception of the New World Order, it's unprecedented. 21 arrivals were counted by the residents of the Stry district on the territory of the local training ground, where not only a training ground for training Ukrainian servicemen by Western instructors is concentrated, but there is evidence that Western mercenaries, including regular military personnel from NATO countries, which were later used on Ukrainian territory, also were concentrated there, and there were also warehouses with NATO weapons and equipment, and that's it. Everything burned quite powerfully this morning, and the local authorities are keeping shockingly silent. Judging by everything, it definitely struck, and primarily the so-called NATO Expeditionary Corps, by the way, just 2 days ago in Slovakia, literally from this Australian training ground, which is just a couple of dozen kilometers away. Macron's much vaunted mercenaries, who were trained for the war in Ukraine, also showed up.